PCG is. But he's gonna try his best here. In the last WGL season, PCG looked formidable at times, but 1-0 looks impressive almost always. We'll see what the two bring to the table. There have been quite some interesting, to say the very least, mirrors between them before. And now we're going to be treated to another best of 3. Let's go in. 1-0 in the blue with the ghoul build with a lich. Inspired perhaps by Happy, who does this a hell of a lot recently. Against, what is the standard play? By PCG. Cat Fiend opening, which is supposed to be better in the late game. The DK with Fiends scales super well into the late game, into the tier 3 50 supply stage. Whereas ghouls are always a bit hit or miss. If you level up the lich high in the early game, and you get some kills, you get level 3, you get to frenzy, you kill more and more, it can be really good. But they can be kited in the late game very effectively, and it's not that easy to do it all right against a really good DK Fiends player.
A player's forces are under attack.
Starting off well though. With that Mantle of Intelligence. That's exactly what 1-0 wants to see. On Amazonia specifically, you can creep super well with ghouls. There's a lot of medium armor creeps to take out. Already at the first 2 camps at the lab in green, and especially in the middle. With the kobolds and the trolls. You can take those out super quick. Important last hit here. 1-0 has the advantage with the Nova. Oh, he did that very nicely. Did you see? He waited for the DK to use the coil to make him waste the mana, and then steal the last hit with the Nova regardless. And the items are absolutely sick. +5 intelligence on the lich is amazing. Oh, he's trying to bait the coil. Is he gonna fall for it? Taking a lot of damage with the DK in the meantime. Oh, and he doesn't even get the last hit. Oh, that is a huge disaster for PCG. 1-0 playing this lich first. Very, very well. Knows exactly what he has to do. Baits the DK in to take more damage. And now he's solo HP. He can't even come into range anymore. So that means 1-0 should pretty easily get these 2 middle camps. Or even using the Nova aggressively here to speed up the creeping. Oh, one ghoul's gonna go down. Okay, that should have been the first little bit of experience for PCG. Nope, never mind. Actually, the creep got it. Oh, that was nicely done. That was a good move. That was a very much needed move as well for PCG. To get that experience. Oh, creeping the kobolds, that's a little bit scary. I've been in this situation before. Being over-eager with the DK, trying to slow down the lich. Suddenly, Nova out of nowhere. GG no re. But PCG is recovering here. Dude, that one lasted. That saved him this early game. Without that, he would have been dead to rights. 1-0 actually slot starved here. Can't even pick up the next item. Because he went for the boots. And is gonna get to level 3 here in a moment. Rushing tier 3 are both players. And delaying the second hero. Interesting. Dude, after the first 4 minutes of this game, I thought it was over already. But kudos to PCG. He stayed in this game very nicely. He knew how important it was to get that last steal. He secured the Taskmaster. And with that, this is all still playable. 1-0 here has the choice to either go into Fiends himself or to play Ghouls and Gargs. Ghouls and Gargs there are the less reliable way of playing, but doable. Possibly with a Dreadlord third. Speaking of F-tier heroes. But we do see a Slaughterhouse for 1-0, so that should mean Fiends then. Normally. And that statue heal that we see for PCG here is making a world of difference. Once you have that, everything is a lot more comfortable. A lot easier to manage. Very careful creeping. PCG finally has his Lich. Lined it up with a tier 3 to finish and to pick up the orb. Oh, it might be a TP forced here, possibly. The boots, though. Are they gonna be good enough? Ooh, it's pretty close, man. Was almost in range for the next Nova. Scary moment. Glitch for PCG here, following across the whole map. Was trying to get the kill with the Nova, but 1-0 in time with his own coil. And I haven't seen a Fiend yet. Is he going just pure Ghouls after all? All of Corruption, of course. But there's no Dreadlord. Normally when you play Ghouls, you want to have the Dreadlord to sleep the DK, preventing the coil on the enemy side, and unlock that aura for yourself. Level 2 for 1-0. Important level for the DK. Solo creeping him beyond that. Lich not level 4 yet. Ideally when you play Lich first, you want to have Lich level 4 very fast. And then you have amazing mana sustain. Yeah, I think he just picked up the Dark Ranger. So it should be a transition into Fiends soon. Speaking of Fiends though, it's a nice little surround right there. And the Burrow not going to be in time. Destroyer morphed right away though. Oh, and 1-0 statue gets ensnared. And this is not a good start of the fight for 1-0, I think. And there's no dust. No reveal against the Burrow on the enemy side. The coil misses. And it's hard to tell who this fight is better for. Seems pretty even, all things considered here. One of mana stealing actually being very helpful. More and more mana on 1-0's side. He has more coils to heal his Lich up with. But the ghouls are basically all gone now. So now we're going to transition into a true Fiend mirror. And the levels for 1-0 are not the greatest. He wants to have level 3 on his DK. He's not there yet. 41 supply for the favorite. 44 for PCG. PCG so far playing without a third hero. Normally, without a Dark Ranger, there shouldn't be too much you can do without silence. But he's delaying her by quite a bit. You can see the confidence here by 1-0. He's down by 2 Fiends and a Destroyer, but he's still fighting. Of course, he's got the triple hero, so that's his advantage. Oh, and another statue's gonna go... Oof, almost down.
player's forces are under attack.
Still battling for the big item. Robe of the Magi, Sobi Mask could be amazing. Bit of accuracy also. And it does go to 1-0. Wait. Did it? I think so. Rune Bracers is okay, but only so long as the heroes are getting focused, which doesn't have to be the case necessarily. Good kiting by 1-0, of course, as always, but he's still lacking some levels. He needs that DK level 3. And Lich level 4 would also be really good. Web on the Destroyer, trying to time the silence perfectly with the right clicks. Oh my god, that was very nicely done. Prevented the coil at the perfect moment. And here comes the next one. That's finally level 3. That's going to change everything. That level 2 coil now available on 1-0's DK. Who's getting focused, who's dropping low, but here the Rune Bracers did help him. Reducing the damage. And the bow not going to be useful for too much longer. I think he must have bought a dust, right? Yeah, he sure did. Another Fiend going down. Dark Ranger level 2, which means now we're going to have Skeletons joining the party soon. Perfectly in time with the Lich level 4. It's going to be so much mana sustain now, and I think that's 1-0 taking full control of this game and taking, in fact, the first map just like that. GG called. And 1-0 for our favorite. Good recovery. Considering that early game. That was about as bad as it can be. The first couple of minutes in that game. But then with a crucial last hit steal, PCG was able to come back. But in the end, the experience shining through. And 1-0. Always kiting well, always trading well. Kind of reminding me of X-Lord. Always poking, always staying at range. Always trying to get value out of the Lich. And never trying to never overextend. But where was the third hero? The third hero for PCG there was missing for a long time. For way too long, I would argue. You need that third hero. You need that silence yourself. To be able to find those kills more reliably. That was Amazonia, of course. That is probably the only map in the pool where you really cannot play Crypt.Expo. On all other ones, it's kind of doable. Even on Concealed, where it's certainly not easy. It's still playable. Just gonna have to delay it for a little while. So I wonder if we're gonna see that perhaps. 1-0 seems to have almost entirely moved away from Cryptlord though. Like most undeads out there, I would say. There's very few only left anymore on the top level who still play him. Krav sometimes does, but we don't see him too much anymore at the moment. And X-Lord sometimes does. But other than that, it seems to have become quite the rarity. Tidehunters would be one of the standout maps for Cryptlords, so would Echo Isles, of course. But our second map is going to be neither of those. It's going to be Northern Isles, where Cryptlord is also very playable, in fact. I feel like Cryptlord is underplayed on Northern Isles, honestly. Northern Isles is really good for Cryptlord. You can get level 2 right away, creep the Expo instantly, get a big item, and expand fast. However, if you do that, and you're getting attacked by a Lich, it can be very painful. And that's the question here, what 1-0 is going to go for. Is it going to be Cryptlord or a Lich? Should be one of the two, unless he wants to style with the Dreadlord. Against which I wouldn't be too opposed, but he hasn't been doing that too much lately. He hasn't been messing around too much. Alright, moment of truth. What is it? Hey, it is the Cryptlord, alright. And that already puts PCG in a bit of a precarious situation. dealing with Cryptlord Fast Expo with a DK standard build is very hard to do. There are ways to do it. With good harass, stealing last hits, maybe delaying the expansion by a bit, and then keeping up the pressure with the Dark Ranger. But if the Cryptlord player is playing well, it's very hard to play. Or to win, I should say, with that style. And maybe that's what 120 has identified here. That PCG just simply plays the standard, plays the DK Tet Fiends every time. And that he can abuse that. When you're playing against DK Standard, you actually don't want to play a fast expansion. You want to take the green camp first. Because if you creep the natural and the DK shows up, then the harass is actually going to hurt quite a bit. I like the Acolyte delay here. Oh, if PCG gets the second last hit as well, that would be huge for him. But not, unfortunately, able to do that. So it is certainly a bit of a delay of the expansion. PCG also going to trigger the Bloodlust from the creeps, but with a whole bunch of skellies and beetles and ghouls, this is pretty easy to creep, all things considered. DK saving his mana. Would love to get the big juicy boys, the level 5 and level 4 creep. But actually commits to that one. Oh, the cooldown of the coil here is very important. Oh, he gets the next one. 120 was trying to kill this creep. He knew the coil had been used, but the cooldown did work out well enough right there. There's another coil. If he gets this one. Oh, wow. Sick harass by PCG. And 120 absolutely not playing this perfectly. Also, he lost the Acolyte, so he's not even making the expansion right now. The way he was supposed to do this was damage all the creeps at the same time, more or less. And then when the coil flies, kill 2 more creeps before the next coil can come off cooldown. So yeah, 120. Far from playing this early game perfect. Does, however, now have level 2, and with the Impale Surround danger, DK's gonna have to be careful. Very early graveyard for 120. He wants to be able to go into Fiends here pretty soon himself, it seems like. Oh, I was thinking about the Impale there, but cancels it. Oh, there's a Narrow Tower finish right there. Oh, PCG, that was a clear mistake. Getting simply surrounded from the Narrow. Does have the Telly Staff, but, well, that one's gonna get cancelled. That's a shame. That was a super strong harass by PCG. He killed like 3 or 4 creeps. Stole them with a coil. But here, that was a bit of a waste. It is the Dark Ranger second, and with that, the pressure should continue, but the TP being gone now makes it a bit dangerous. PCG, however, he is aware of how many last hits he stole earlier, so he knows that the Cryptlord is still very far away from that level 3. Which definitely gives him a window here to be a bit aggressive. Oh, it was a replenishment potion that the Cryptlord found. That's an excellent item for him. And a tier 3 rush by PCG. Normally, when players like Happy used to play the style in the past, it was more tier 2 pressure, like 3-4 Fiends and a statue before tech. Here it's a bit different. Oh, big last at the DK. Does he arrive in time to steal it? No. It's a crystal ball for 1-2-0. Against so many skeletons, he can't really fight with the ghouls. He can't really set up the surround too well, so he's just walking away, trying to buy time. I'm not even sure if he has a TP. If there's no TP on the Crypt Lord, a surround here could also be dangerous, but yeah, he does have one. Okay. And is now also fairly close to level 3. If he was to creep the orange camp, he certainly would get it. And he doesn't have the time to do so right now if he wants. PCG getting good levels right here. It's gonna have level 3 DK, level 2 Dark Ranger very, very soon. Oh, 1-0 wants to steal something here. But there's no way he's gonna be able to get the Null Overseer. I think he's wasting his time a bit here. I think he should have just prepped the orange. He's creeping the green with the ghouls in the meantime, and PCG is waiting for his Lich. With tier 3 finished, and the Lich and Orb, it's time for him to go. 1-0 with the expansion is getting stronger and stronger. He will be massing Fiends, perhaps with a couple of upgrades. And 1-0 needs to win this game soon. Very, very soon. Before the masses go out of control. Arc of Reincarnation and Belt. Not the best finds, really, for PCG.
A player's forces are under attack.
And here we go. PCG seems like he's going to push into the main base, not towards the expo. Which could be a very good idea, because there's not really too many towers there. Now one more tower is coming up in the back. The DK not out yet. Tier 3 was started, but it may even have to be cancelled. We'll see about that. Acolyte's possibly going to be exposed in the back. The slaughterhouse far from finished. Items on the ground everywhere, because there's not enough slots. Level 4, however, for the Crypto. That's a big level up. The DK did pop out. Oh man, he was in danger of getting surrounded there as well. And now it's going to be mostly down to the Impales. The Fiend count is low. Wait a minute. PCG only has 3 Fiends. He should have more than that at this point in the game. Double Pendant of Energy, by the way. Oh boy. Alright, here comes the next Fiend. The Aura plus the statues are the big difference maker for PCG. 1-0 not having those is a huge problem for him. Slaughterhouse now finishes. Statues will be coming. Altar, however, falls. We'll have to remake that at the expo. First Impale lands nicely, but there's going to be very little follow-up damage only. It's not too many Fiends. The ghouls quickly die in the focus fire. And the shop taken out. So that one has to be remade as well, along with the altar. And there's no mana pots yet on 1-2-0. Mana potions with double pendant would have crazy efficiency. He doesn't have them yet. And 1-0 kind of stuck at the back of his own base. DK in trouble? Ah, he did buy a mana potion on the DK, by the way. That's important. And to pass over these items somehow. The Fiends just die so quick in the focus fire. The Lich, the Orb, of course, making the big difference here. Oh, 1-0 didn't research Burrow. I think that's a big mistake. I think he definitely should have researched that by now. That Burrow upgrade. But what he needs is the Lich. Impale lands again, but the statue is always healing against it. Crypt Lord, very low HP now. (1-0) finally getting a kill, but it took a long time to claim this one. It was a hard hold for 1-0, but it seems like he does hold. Lich should be coming from the expo soon, I would imagine. And there's 2 items he can pick up. Oh my god. There's 2 items on the ground here. What's that? Crystal Ball? Okay, that one's not so good. And the other one? One of Mana Steel. Alright. He takes those. There we go. 1-0 did remake the buildings at the expo. Has the Lich now, has the Orb, and has 60 supply. And for PCG, things haven't changed much. He still has to push. He still has to finish this game now. It's too late for a counter expansion. If he had expanded at 50 supply, maybe. But now it's too late. Now he has to fight. Silence on the Crypt Lord, taking a lot of damage. Still no aura on 1-0 that makes microing for him a lot harder than for the opponent. Invul Potion and a beautiful Impale coming in. Takes out one Fiend right away. And the next one. Nicely timed Nova there also. There's 1 or maybe 2 more Impales ready. Lich might be going down. Healing definitely a problem for 1-0, but he's got such a high Fiend count. Maybe even with decent upgrades, I'm not sure. That's a 20 supply lead now. 47 versus 67 supply. And it seems like he finally did it. Only thing 1-0 really needs is hero levels. If the DK and the Lich both get to 3, this game must be his. PCG again trying his best. Trying to line up the perfect Impale. Oof! Beauty! Zero's paying attention to his heroes very well, trying to not lose them. Oh, another Impale comes through the Crypt Lord. Man, that double pendant was certainly nice. And the DK level 2, and now 1-0 finally has the aura, and that changes everything. Makes microing so much easier. Gets the DK. I think he had the Ankh though, right? Oh no, he didn't. Anyways, it's over. GG 2-0 for 1-0.